Welcome back to the Grow Your Nutrition Business podcast. At Healthy Steps Nutrition, we believe something as fundamental as nutrition shouldn't be complicated. We help gym owners build successful nutrition programs without reinventing the wheel. I'm your host, Nicole Aucoin, registered dietitian and founder of Healthy Steps Nutrition, CrossFit HSN, and HSN Mentoring. I'm also the author of The Basics of Nutrition Coaching, CrossFit Preferred Nutrition course. In this podcast, I'm going to teach you how to take one step at a time to build a successful nutrition program where you finally feel confident talking about nutrition to your members and your communities. Today, I am so excited to have my husband and business partner, Jason, on the podcast with me. We just got back from the CrossFit Games and had to share some of the amazing experiences we had with our listeners. In this episode, we talk about everything that wasn't televised with the CrossFit Games and the experience beyond watching athletes, don't get me wrong, do incredibly difficult workouts. From CrossFit health initiatives to affiliate owner support to even some insight on us speaking on the seminar stage, we go through so many different things on this podcast episode. During the games, we also had the opportunity to host an affiliate owner breakfast with our friends over at Push Press. At the end of this episode, I'm going to share 3 simple and effective strategies to help you build a nutrition program into your gym. Tune in to the end. We will get to this episode right after this message. Gym owners around the world are seeing increases in members and nutrition-only clients. When people coming into your gym, they're looking for you to help them solve a problem. Maybe that problem has to do with weight loss or increasing muscle mass, or they want to get lean. Maybe they just want something new and different. They want to feel confident in their skin. I think we all can agree that fitness alone will not help people change their body composition, at least not as fast as if you incorporate fitness, nutrition, and accountability. The gym owners that offer all 3 of these things, nutrition, fitness, and accountability, are seeing increases in member results, retention, and average revenue per member per month. So you don't need 200 people in your gym to make a living off of nutrition. Instead, you can have less people and truly impact their lives. We have structured our intake offering that guides people to an option to get started with nutrition, fitness, and accountability. In the HSN mentoring program, we teach gym owners how to set up this offering, how to market it, how to deliver it in a consistent experience. If you are a gym owner looking for a streamlined way to help your clients with nutrition, we would love to help you. Click the link in the show notes to see how it works with HSN mentoring and to book a free call with me. I hope to chat with you soon. All right, let's get to this episode on everything the CrossFit Games. Jay, welcome back to the podcast.
Well, thanks for having me.
I'm excited you're on. It's been a while.
Yeah, I'm your husband. Shouldn't I be on a podcast more often than once every 6 months?
I never know what kind of inappropriate comments you're going to make, so we have to keep it at a minimum.
Well, I just want to talk about the games. I mean, we just got back from Madison, and it was probably one of the most exciting games we've been to for a lot of different reasons, so I'm pumped.
We had so much fun just seeing people in person, giving hugs, connecting. Gosh, it's so different than the virtual world that we've been living in for the past year and a half.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely good to see a lot of faces. What would you say your favorite part of the games were this year?
I have to admit, I did not watch one event start to finish, so I'm not going to say that.
I'm going to let Tia know, and I'm sure she'll be really upset with you.
You know, for me, obviously connecting with the gym owners and coaches, and we even ran into some clients that are using Healthy Steps Nutrition and heard some really incredible stories. I mean, obviously that is definitely one of my favorite parts. But, you know, a personal passion of mine is CrossFit Health and the health initiative that was started a few years ago with CrossFit. And I wasn't really sure if it was going to continue. And this year at the CrossFit Games, CrossFit Health was more present than ever. You know, in previous years, there was always a health conference that was only open to nurses, doctors, dietitians, physical therapists, people in the health healthcare realm. And this year, the seminars were in the middle of the seminar stage so that every person could hear them and hear what's going on with CrossFit Health. And I thought that was so cool.
Yeah, I agree. It was awesome to see some familiar faces. Pat Sherwood gave an awesome speech, and there was a speech about oncology and cancer in the fitness industry. And Julie Fouché led a bunch of different boards, I guess, if you will, and she hosted them. And it was really cool to listen to some of the different things that are coming out and the initiatives that are coming out, and that it's still there. Because I know in the past you were going out to headquarters out in Santa Cruz. Is that correct?
Yep.
You were going out to California like every other month, it seemed like, for DDCs. And then when Eric took over, it seemed like that kind of fizzled out for a little while. But it's probably nice for you to know that it hasn't fizzled out. It's just regrouped, and it's still just as busy as ever, and there's passion behind it. And I know me watching you, I saw you light up. I mean, since you've been back, you've had a little pep in your step. And I think it was because you kind of got fired up.
I think there's so much going on with health and wellness, and people are realizing that nutrition has never been more important in taking care of your health. And we're seeing it at our HQ location. And, I think CrossFit's really embraced that and wants to put the information out into the public to know what's going on. Here's the new initiatives, and here's what CrossFit's going to do to help.
Tell me a little bit about, there were these health conferences, and we sat in on, I missed one because I watched an event, but tell me a little bit about, there were several panels.
Yep.
I guess, what were some of those panels about, and what was your favorite panel?
Gosh, there were some really good ones. I think they had a cancer and CrossFit one, which was awesome. Z was on that panel. We did a ton of stuff in the past with the RAD program resources after diagnosis. All of the funding for Barbells for Boobs goes to this RAD program to give people who've been diagnosed with breast cancer the support and resources that they really need. And we provided a lot of nutrition for them in the past. So they were on this panel, and they were talking about exercise and how important CrossFit is in the community aspect in regards to cancer treatment, and kind of the taboo of like, don't lift anything over your head. And, if you're going through cancer treatment, you shouldn't be doing CrossFit, when in reality, the research, and there was a oncologist there that was talking about, actually, CrossFit is one of the best things that you can do, and it just needs to be modified. And if you're going through treatment, like, here's some things, here's some resources and tools to help you. But they were talking about, how exercise is so important, not only for the mental aspect, but also with slowing cancer growth, which was really eye-opening.
Yeah, for sure. I one thing that resonated with me, and I can only imagine females that are going through cancer or breast cancer, the first thing doctors they say is, don't put your hands over your head, right? And It's like, don't do anything. It's almost like deadlifting. Don't deadlift, but how are you going to pick up something from the ground? Well, one of the oncologists said it's amazing that they say you can't lift anything overhead, don't raise your hands overhead, but when you go in for a scan, what's the first thing they want you to do?
Lift your hands over your head. That resonated with me too, actually.
So I kind of listened to it, and it kind of reminds me of, like, don't necessarily believe the mainstream all the time, because they're steering you sometimes in a direction. And this is coming from somebody that's an oncologist that's saying, hey, no, you need to put your hands over your head. You need to move.
Yeah. There's so many reasons why exercise is important, and consistently exercising, for sure. Another one of the panels that I really loved was the wearables one. And Jay, you and I did our own little levels experiment. And for those of you guys who are listening that missed that podcast, I recommend that you go back and listen to it. We actually had one of the founders of Levels, and it's a continuous glucose monitoring device that gets put into your arm, little tiny like plastic needle. You cannot feel it at all. I hate needles, and I was completely fine with it. Wore it for like 6 or 8 weeks, and basically monitored our blood sugar the whole time.
Yeah, it was definitely an eye opener for me, because I have a sweet tooth. I'm not sure if you've noticed that. 9 years.
Only one.
I have several sweet teeth. So I used to like the cookie, and I still do occasionally like the cookie, and I will splurge at night with some dessert, and I pay for it because I don't get a rested night's sleep. And forever, I thought, well, man, I must have just not slept well because I've got a lot on my mind, or some reason. And in reality, when you see your blood glucose at 4 a.m. at 130, when normally it's 70, something wasn't adding up. And I would have never correlated the two without Levels, which was an eye-opener for me.
And you really did cut down the amount of sweets that you have at night since doing that experiment. But it was super interesting because when we had those carbohydrates at night, our fasting blood sugar, which is the blood sugar you wake up in the morning, was elevated. And that is not good for us, obviously, to have elevated blood sugar, and it does impact our sleep. Some other interesting things is, when you paired protein, carbs, and fats together, which is one of the core principles we have at Healthy Steps Nutrition, it slowed down your blood sugar from going up. So, Levels was talking about, hey, if you're going to have some carbs, pair it with some protein, pair it with some healthy fat to slow down that blood sugar spike. One of the other interesting things that I found was how high my blood sugar went up after exercise. I mean, it was pretty incredible how good our body is at breaking down glycogen, which is the way that sugar is stored in your body so that you have glucose so that your body can use it for energy, because glucose is our body's main source of fuel. And when you run out of it, your body can make it pretty efficiently.
Would this be a good time now to let all of the people listening know that my pancreas is definitely in better shape than yours, because my blood sugar did not ever get as high as yours doing exercise? Or maybe it's just you just work harder. So, undetermined.
So your pancreas is definitely in better shape than mine. We would eat the same thing and my sugar would go up higher than yours, and I would not have nearly as many carbohydrates, and it was very frustrating.
Well, hey, you just keep working on it. A cookie a day, maybe we'll get that pancreas working.
No.
Okay. Let's talk about something that I thought was equally exciting. And every year when we go to the CrossFit Games, they host an affiliate lounge for us. And it's an area where they host, Eric Rosa spoke this year, and it's an area where they let us know some new initiatives that are going on sometimes. And we're just, other owners can get together and we can kind of chat and we can meet each other from across the world. I know people were coming up and asking you to take pictures from Russia and all these different places. Like, it was interesting that not only was it crowded, but I feel like the energy was just so much better this year in the affiliate lounge. So why do you think that was?
It was really cool to see so many gym owners. I mean, goodness, you're talking about Dimitri from Russia. This guy translated everything that we have at HSN so that he could deliver Healthy Steps Nutrition to his clients in Russia who don't speak English. I mean, wow. How freaking incredible is that? Like, I have goosebumps thinking about the amazing job that he's done. He leads the Russia affiliate initiative. CrossFit has appointed a person to each country. And he actually leads the Russia one, but he was incredible. It was really nice to meet him in person. Meet some other people that just graduated training. And of course our staff, Jen and Heather, were there. It was just really cool to get together and get connected with people. And, I think for us, it was extra special to see people in person, see our staff that we haven't seen in a long time. But for other gym owners, I think we sometimes feel like we're on an island, especially if you're not in a mentoring group. Like, you're kind of running this business alone, you're in this business where you have members coming in and telling you all the awesome things, but then all the tough struggles that they're having too. And sometimes you don't really have those people to turn to. So it's just cool to connect with other gym owners. I mean, 2020 was probably one of the most stressful years for gym owners who,
it was the most stressful. You don't have to say one of, it was definitely the most stressful.
Yeah. And I mean, it translated into this year too. I mean, let's be honest. This has been a tough season that we've been in as gym owners, not really sure what's going on, and making sure that, we have this pressure of, providing the safest environment for our clients. But you're right. The vibe was different in the affiliate lounge this year. The leadership team was so pumped to see everyone in person. They were giving away some really cool things. They were hosting panel discussions. There were organized things for affiliate owners, which there was in the past, but not to this extent. They were talking about the affiliate roundtables that are launching, which is a really cool initiative. CrossFit obviously released CAP, the CrossFit affiliate programming, that's starting in October and to be fully released in January for a paid version. And James was there, one of the founders
James
of the
Hobart.
Yep, one of the founders of the company, just talking to affiliates about the programming and what it looks like and how to use it. We got to see the CrossFit affiliate playbook, which is probably something that would have saved us a ton of money when we opened the gym. I mean, it had things in regards to lease negotiations and every possible thing, staffing and all the support in there, member retention and onboarding. There's so many great things in this affiliate owner playbook. I'm excited for them to release it out to the public. But I think it was just really awesome to see the new CrossFit leadership team and a lot of old faces too, being intentional with getting affiliate owners together and highlighting some of the awesome things that are coming to support affiliate owners.
Yeah, I think one of the things, the common themes that I heard throughout the 4 days that we were there in the affiliate lounge from upper level management and directors was, we are here to support the affiliates.
Yeah.
Like, when he said that, and sometimes you hear it once, and you're like, okay, put your money where your mouth is. No. They said it over and over again, and they were practicing what they preach. I mean, the playbook's coming out, CAP's coming out. They are there with these panel discussions. Why don't you tell us a little bit about what that panel discussion? You mentioned it like they're selecting somebody to run a panel in an area where they have other gym owners, and it's an area where you're free of worrying about competitors, you're worrying about anybody else, and you're just there to talk to some other owners. You're not looking for answers necessarily, but you just want to kind of talk to some other owners and find out, hey, what are you guys going through right now? Where are your struggles? Is there anything I can help with? Maybe something's worked for us. Maybe you guys can take that back to your house and you can try to do the same thing or replicate it and save you time and headaches. And it was nice to hear from some other affiliate owners and hear some of their struggles and hear some of their wins. I mean, there was an example of I'm going to get choked up.
Oh man,
there was an affiliate owner who lost a coach, and she said, I lost a coach. He had a heart attack in the floor in front of my class. And he was also my business partner, and he was also my husband, and he was a father. That was tough to hear, and how everybody stepped up and how the support and other gyms were sending coaches there. And like, man, this is what it's all about. I mean, now we're seeing this firsthand at that level, and that just kind of rejuvenated me. I know it did you, because you've got this like pep in your step, like, hey, CrossFit's going places, and they're ready. They're finally making this turn to where it's taken a little while, but I think, it was a big organization, and Eric's done a really good job of putting the right people in the right places to make this turn.
I'm excited. I think that the Roundtable is going to be a really great initiative to just bring affiliate owners together and help support each other in more of a peer-to-peer instead of like, hey, do all of these things. Like, that's not the goal. Go to a mentor to get told what to do. Like, this is a peer-to-peer relationship group where you're just there to listen and support people along their journey. So I'm excited. I'm hopeful for the future. It was really cool. They gave away a ton of stuff. They raffled a ton of stuff. They gave away affiliate dues for a few people. And then they ended up saying like, you know what? You guys have been through a really tough year. Like, let's give out some more. So
that was awesome.
We were not the lucky ones who got that, but that's all right. It was just really fun to see people in person. Of course, we got to do some cool stuff with our friends over at Push Press, and we did a breakfast, affiliate owner breakfast. They did a happy hour. We got to meet some people there. It was fun just to connect with people in person.
Yeah. And you got to speak again for, is this your third or fourth year in a row speaking at the seminar stage, correct?
Yeah, that was so fun. It was cool to see CrossFit Health have this initiative and like obviously talking about health. And there was the panel discussion that you were mentioning with Pat Sherwood talking about chronic disease. And he actually spoke at all the DDCs that I went to. And one of my favorite presentations was his talking about chronic disease and how he's doing these really incredible things at his garage gym to help the underserved, morbidly obese and elderly population get healthy. And, at the very core of Healthy Steps Nutrition, our goal is to help prevent disease, and hearing CrossFit talk about chronic disease and the prevalence of it and what you need to do to fight it. And the common theme between doctors and all the people of this panel, like, you need to exercise, but you also need to change your nutrition. And the amount of times that I heard habit-based approach in these panels like lit me up. I'm like, yes, finally, we're not talking about super restrictive diets. We're talking about habits, one healthy step at a time. And it went and segued right perfectly into the presentation that I did talking about nutrition made simple. And the cool thing is, Jay, like, since we launched this podcast, we've brought on not only our clients, but clients of other gyms who run our nutrition program who've helped their clients lose 50, 100, 150 pounds. And I got to share some of those stories, not just our personal stories, which was awesome. And we talked about, what are the 3 things that are in common with this population of people that have lost a significant amount of weight. And then we dove into some of the things that we truly believe at Healthy Steps Nutrition. And it's not a super restrictive diet. It's a habit-based approach. And more importantly, the accountability and support to help clients achieve really amazing results. And it was fun to talk about nutrition and share some success stories of people and inspire people to make a change and to just focus on one thing at a time and slow down to actually build momentum to speed up.
Yeah, it was cool. I was definitely a proud hubby. You did a great job at the seminar stage, and to walk around and see how many people are coming up to you to say, hey, thank you. Can I get my picture with you? Oh my gosh, it's Nicole from Healthy Steps Nutrition. Like,
oh my.
I know, but you're making an impact. Like, I think sometimes it's easy to kind of sit here in South Florida and you sit at this desk here from 5 a.m. to sometimes 9 p.m, and you don't see the impact you're having outside of these 4 walls. And for me, I get to see you, just these people coming up to you and thanking you for helping them with their programs. And for me, that was a really cool, proud hubby moment. So good job.
Thanks. It was definitely really fun to see people in person and just, the hopes to inspire someone to take control of their health. I think, we're seeing trends at our HQ location, like nutrition's never been busier. People are wanting to make a change. And we had so many requests after we did that presentation because it wasn't streamed live or anything. Like, hey, how do we get to watch that? How can we see that we decided to host this seminar, Nutrition Made Simple, on Saturday, August 21st. I'll be doing the presentation again virtually. So if you missed it, if you did not make it to the games and you're like, Nicole, I want to hear that presentation. Like, I want to be inspired to get healthy. We would love for you to join us. So click the link in the show notes and register for the presentation to attend live, or you can actually catch the recording if you're listening to this podcast after August 21st. Go ahead and click the link in the show notes and you will be able to watch that presentation.
Awesome. So let's wrap this up with a question for you. We have 4 months left in 2021. Good riddance. I'm okay with that. What's on the docket? What's in the pipeline here? I know we've got some corporate challenges coming up. I think we're flying to go do a corporate challenge somewhere together. A big construction company. What's on the docket for the rest of the year, and what's on the docket for next year? Have we gotten that far yet?
Oh yeah, goodness. So, this year we launched the family nutrition program. We've helped dozens of families help change their healthy habits and empower kids to get healthy and really focus on nutrition as a family instead of just the mom doing it or dad doing it. And that program is really, really taken off. And, I think for us, the plan at our HQ location is still to continue to help individuals. We have so many people signing up for individual nutrition coaching right now. I think last week we had 6 people sign up for individual nutrition coaching, and people are applying every single day to be a part of the program. And we have 2 tiers now, that higher accountability tier, which has been really great for people who just need more and more support, which is awesome. In regards to the mentoring program, we're continuing to support gyms. I mean, there's still some gyms right now, especially in Australia, that are locked down again. Like, we have our gyms in Australia doing Zoom cooking classes and doing different things to keep their clients engaged. We're growing the mentoring program. We're growing, what we're seeing is gyms are actually adding nutrition coaches because they're adding nutrition only clients and building, like we're doing, building employee wellness programs, which is so awesome. I think it's so much easier to, walk into the gym for an hour and think like that's going to be where you get your transformation. But the truth is, the harder part and the part that you need the most support with is the other 23 hours of the day. You need support with nutrition. And, we're seeing trends of gym owners and coaches realizing like this is the missing piece of the puzzle and I need to be supporting my clients with this.
Yeah, for sure. And what better time than right now in the epidemic that we're living through to be our healthiest version of ourselves and to get our stuff together and dial it in so that we can have our best chance at fighting whatever comes our way, right?
Absolutely. Jay, I can't thank you enough for all the things that you do. I mean, we've traveled together. The games was really fun. I know I mentioned the coolest part for me, but what was the coolest part for you at the CrossFit Games?
Well, I'm going to go ahead and list two of them, and they're both food related. Every year we go and we have pancakes from the Pancake Short Stack Eatery in Madison, Wisconsin, and they're delicious. And then we got to visit Gibson Steakhouse, where I sat next to Ric Flair. Woo! I don't know how he does it, but and we got to have a nice dinner on the way out. That was probably my favorite part, but I'm a foodie, so I'm going to go with that.
Oh my goodness! Of all the things, you're hilarious. Yes, we did eat some good pancakes, but definitely just seeing people in person. I know that was both of our highlights.
For sure. I mean, we got to see some old friends that are on seminar staff still. We got to see people that work for CrossFit still that we haven't seen in 2+ years. And it just felt normal again. It felt like for a minute we got to be normal, and it really felt good to be back in the arms and hanging out with friends that we haven't seen in a while, and to see the smile on their faces that they're doing what they love, and you can see the passion. It's there. It hasn't gone anywhere, and it's just beginning. This is just a start, and I'm pumped.
Yeah, I'm so hopeful for the future. There's so many great initiatives coming out to support affiliates and really highlight the importance. The mission statement of CrossFit, that new mission statement, health is in it. And that hasn't been there before. And, you can't be the healthiest version of yourself without nutrition. And, you have to look at the whole picture, not just the exercise component, but nutrition, support system, goodness, stress management, sleep, like all of these things impact each other. So if you missed the CrossFit Games, I hope you enjoyed this recap. I'm sure there are plenty of recaps on all the affiliate or all the athlete side of things. Like, yes, you can go rewatch those, but these are some of the other really cool things that were happening beyond athletes competing and lifting heavy stuff.
And if you want to hear me more than once every 6 months, please let the audience, or please let Nicole know that my voice should be aired more often, because there's some sound voice coming out of this today.
Oh, goodness. All right. Bye, Jay. Man, so many awesome things happened at the CrossFit Games. It was so great just to connect with people. One of the things we mentioned at the beginning was CrossFit Health, and one of my favorite panel discussions that Julie Fouché led was with Pat Sherwood, Athena Perez, and a few others talking about chronic disease. Chronic disease isn't going anywhere, and chronic disease is defined as a condition where you have to seek medical help for at least a year. 60% of people have one chronic disease, and over 40% of the US population has two or more. The thing is, a lot of these chronic diseases can be prevented through nutrition, exercise, and not smoking tobacco. We, as affiliate owners and nutrition coaches, have the opportunity to impact people's lives and help them prevent chronic disease. And it was so awesome to see CrossFit Health have a presence and people actually listening. Those panels were packed. People were standing all around, and it was just really great to see this information getting out to the public. All right. Let's talk about one other thing. We hosted a panel for affiliate owners with our friends over at Push Press. And there are three big things that kept kind of circling back around. And the first one, Nick Reyes actually brought up, and I was kind of thinking, oh my goodness, this makes so much sense. So we're talking about Google My Business. And if you don't have a Google My Business account set up, I would highly recommend that you go and do that. But one of the things Nick mentioned was you should be posting on your Google My Business account just as much as you're posting on social media. So you should be posting on it once a day. I was like, man, I don't think I've put a picture on my Google My Business account since we made it years ago. And when I looked back at those pictures, it was people snatching and doing double unders and muscle ups. Probably things that our ideal clients cannot even dream about doing when they come into our facility. So guess what I did? I removed a lot of those pictures and added some smiley, happy people. We also added some success stories, and we've been adding pictures every few days since, and even some posts. Guess what? More people are finding us through Google. Google My Business does a really great job sending you an email, giving you the updates and status of how many people you're reaching through your business account. So one tip, simple and actionable tip, create a Google My Business account. And if you already have one, go ahead and start posting those success stories, post those nutrition tips. If you want people to see nutrition associated with your brand, you can't just have fitness pictures on your Google My Business account. All right, that's tip number 1. Tip number 2, it falls right in line with people finding you. I challenge you to opt into your new lead funnel. Are you sharing success stories? Are you sharing before and after pictures? Are you sharing simple nutrition tips? I was talking to a gym owner yesterday who's going through the mentoring process, and she's had an amazing transformation herself. Like, man, you need to put your own success story in your lead funnel and say, hey, I know where you are. I've been there. These are the struggles I had, and this is how I overcame them. And this is how I've been able to make a sustainable change and now impact hundreds of other people to do the same thing. I can't wait to talk to you and meet with you on this day. That is so impactful. If you want people to trust you, you have to relate to them. You have to show empathy. And who's more empathetic? Who can relate to someone more that's been through that transformation themselves? So opt into your new lead funnel. See what kind of things you're seeing. If you don't have that at all, hey, that's okay. That's one of the things that our mentoring program does, is help you set that up and give you the actual emails that you need. All right. Number 3, this is something that we talked about a ton, and this is a push that we've been really driving home with the mentoring program, and it's partnerships and setting up partnerships with local businesses. People are 500% more likely to buy from you when they heard about your business from someone they trust. Why not set up partnerships with other like-minded businesses where you can refer back and forth to each other? If my members are constantly looking for a healthy option, a healthy place to go to eat out, I want to be able to guide them to an option and say, I know that you can eat healthy here and stay on track. So in this panel discussion, we talked about how to do it, why to do it, the steps to get it done. And then what we did actually is hosted a virtual panel the second week in August where we went through some of these questions, because let's face it, a lot of gym owners weren't able to make it to the games this year. So if you are interested in setting up partnerships or Google My Business or the lead funnels and generations where we gave simple and actionable tips to help you build and grow your business and add a nutrition component in there, click the link in the show notes and you can listen to the virtual panel that we hosted the second week of August. All right, I want to brag on one of my clients for a second. Brandon owns a gym in Tennessee, and him and his wife came down to Florida. His mom actually lives a couple miles away from us, and we ended up having some coffee, and we're sitting down. Cassie and Brandon and Jason and I, we sat down and we were talking about what their vision was for their business and how to help more people and reach more people in their community. And we talked about partnerships, and we dove into some different strategies and employee wellness, and he left with so many different ideas, but clear and actionable steps to help move in the right direction. And him and his wife flew home that afternoon, and he said, Nicole, we just mapped out everything. And I went home and I talked to my nutrition coach and GM, Samantha, and both of them were on the virtual panel. Samantha's like, hey, Nicole, I have a nutrition talk that we're doing with a local business, and here's my ideas. How would you do it? After the panel discussion, Brandon was like, Nicole, I am so excited. We have 4 companies that we are starting conversations with to do employee wellness, and we have even more that we're setting up partnerships with. And it was because we were able to map out the plan to do it. As gym owners, we have so many different ideas, but if you don't have a coach to keep you accountable, if you don't have clear and actionable steps, it can feel super overwhelming. So if you are a gym owner looking to build a nutrition program and you're unsure where to start, we would love to help you. The first thing you need to do, and what I would recommend, is that we identify who's going to help support this role, because as a gym owner, you can't wear all the hats. So click the link in the show notes and book a free call with me. I would love to talk to you about what you're doing now to see if HSN Mentoring is a good fit to help you in your business. Until next week, hope you enjoyed this podcast. And one last thing, if you are enjoying this podcast, please leave us a 5-star review and write a review so this podcast can reach more people. See you guys next week.